What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And today we are diving into Handmaid's Tale Season 1, Episode 2. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking with us. I know we did not drop this video last week like we were supposed to. I went and fractured one of my molars and then had the very painful experience of having to wait 24 hours to have it extracted. So the end of my week last week was not fun, but we are back at it again and ready to discuss the second episode of Handmaid's Tale Season 1. As you know, we're going back in time as you requested after watching Season 6 and just re-reviewing for Liam, watching for the first time for me, and giving you our full, just uncandid reaction of what we think and what's going to happen. I have seen Season 6. I only watched Season 6. It was a little experiment we did on the channel. You guys really loved it. And so we're just going to keep continuing it and keep enjoying this amazing series and diving into this really messed up dystopian world that so many of us have fallen in love with. So without further ado, let's talk about Episode 2.
Yeah, this one started off with the reproduction scene.
The ceremony, we call it, right? That's what it's called. So I wanted to ask something about that, because I love that everyone's in the comments chatting about it and really filling us in and giving their opinions on this stuff. But I had seen a comment that Serena is one of the things I'm struggling with right now is that I don't necessarily see the evil of Serena yet. We're only 2 episodes in, and you and many others have said, no, she's really that evil.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah, I know, and I will. But right now, as of Episode 2, I just see a broken, just battered wife right now is what I see. Someone who has lost complete control in her life and is basically just alone and miserable. And every time I see her, she's like crying or upset. And so, as I said in the past, hurt people. So I get that she's about to go on this evil rant. And I say all these things because in the scene that opens up and in the last ceremony scene, there was talk and mention that Serena is like holding June down, like holding her, like almost holding her down for Fred to like rape, that's the only other word we can call it. But I'm a little confused on that because I thought it was more of like a ceremonial position. Like she's as if the handmaid's not there, right? Like they're pretending as if she's not there. Like she's in that position because that's where the wife should be.
Just like you see later on with the birth stuff. You've got the one who's not even pregnant, just going through the motions to, I guess, build up the mind-body connection type thing of what's going on so that the surrogate can truly be just that, a surrogate.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel a lot of these scenes are as well. She may not be physically restraining her, but she is absolutely restrained emotionally and with her freedom. And
No, 100%. But I think for me, that happens at the Red Center, right? Like that level of stripping away who their humanity is, stripping away their free will, stripping away their ability to resist. I felt like they were establishing in Episode 1 that the Red Center is the reason that they're so compliant because of fear of death and fear of like all of these things, getting their eye removed, all the different things that could happen to them.
Every time the eyes show up, they're petrified that it's going to be them being pulled in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just like, I needed to know, is it her like restraining her? And like, that's her job is like holding her down? Or is that like actually part of the ceremony and they're just pretending as if like the handmaid's not there, right? Like that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's how I take it.
Okay.
It's supposed to be just an extension of Serena.
Right, because they're treating her as like a surrogate womb, like an artificial womb. That's all she's supposed to be. A walking womb is what she called herself. And so for me, I was just struggling because I didn't think Serena was necessarily, is what they're doing 1000% evil? I am not saying it is not, but I'm trying to figure out in that scenario where Serena is and what her role is and what she's participating in. And is she participating in like the restraining of her, or like is it more of a ceremonial thing? Is really what I was trying to figure out.
Okay. Right now I see it as ceremonial.
Yeah.
That's how I see that.
Would love to hear you guys' thoughts as well.
Yes. And this is all book 1 is what everyone keeps telling us. Season 1 is literally just the book. Everything else was written after the fact. But in this, we see Emily's now gone.
Yeah, that was that's the end of the episode, right? We got the cliffhang that Glenn has been replaced.
Yeah. Where is of Glen? I am of Glen.
Exactly. And, the last time we saw her was at the birth with Janine, well, Janine's birth. Janine giving birth, not her birth. She's obviously an adult. And she was being pretty inconspicuous about being sneaky, right? Like every time June looked at her, she was talking. So did she get caught? That's where I'm at right now, is that she wasn't as sneaky as she thought she was. And someone found out that she was asked, but maybe doesn't know she's resisting, or that but she's asking the wrong questions, and so she's getting in trouble. And in this world, if you get kicked out of being a handmaid, you go to the colony, correct? Okay.
Or dead.
So either she's dead or she went to the colony at this point. It could be a presumption.
Or they also do like reprogramming stuff.
Oh, some like Clockwork Orange shit?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
You'll see that later on. Unless I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure they got that. But what'd you think of the cookie scene with the macaroon?
So again, the thing with Serena, I get that I thought for me personally that June spits it back out because she took back her choice, right? That's her, like, even though she would enjoy eating something very sweet and it would be nice to have.
Enjoy it.
She took back her choice by spitting it out and being like, I don't need to eat this. I have control here, which is what I perceived that scene to be, was her like just using any bit of control she still has and then being very happy about that. But again, with Serena, I don't get her yet. And I have insight into who she becomes. So I'm like, that's where I'm struggling with the gap, I think, because I'm expecting this to be a lot more evil. I'm expecting Fred to be a lot more evil. And then I watched him play a game of Scrabble and be very friendly. And so I'm like, these are really evil people, but there's nuances to this that I am yet to explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll get to see all that. But yeah, I agree. It's her taking back the autonomy and realizing like, yes, I can do this. But the way they treated her like a dog. Oh, she's so well behaved.
As she was walking away, they called her a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like as she's like within earshot, they start talking shit about her right away.
The actress did such a good job when she took that first bite. Like it was the first time she ever had sweets in her entire life. You've seen videos online of like people in third world countries getting a taste of Americanized sugar and being like, oh my God, where has this been all my life type stuff.
Sorry, we gave you poison.
Yeah. But that's the feeling that I got there, and I absolutely loved how strongly she was able to show that.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, she just cowered like, oh, I'm going to be a good girl.
She played the part.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Barb was asking me like, I don't see significance of that. And so that's kind of what I was saying. It was like, yeah, she's just playing her role. She has to keep up appearances. Otherwise, her life or something worse may happen. I mean, come on. In this world, there is way worse things than just being killed.
Yeah, for sure. So the other big thing in this episode that's,
The birth.
and the Scrabble, right? The game of Scrabble. So I think the birth is one of the things, and you already brought it up, so I won't touch on it too much, but it's one of the things that also made me think of just how much everything is like ceremonious and like a show, really. It's all for show.
It's marketing.
Yeah, it's all just a show. When you first walk in, you have Naomi on the floor. I thought she was sick at first. I'm like, what's wrong with her? Is she not feeling well? And then it clicked to me, oh, she's pretending to be freaking pregnant. And you have Janine upstairs actually giving birth. And then the minute she actually gives birth, it's no longer her baby. It becomes Angela now, and it goes to Naomi. And so it's just, the whole thing makes me like, it makes this puppet show of evil just like it stands out way more once you compare the ceremony of creating the baby and then the ceremony of giving birth to the baby. It's just one big evil puppet show.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. So when Janine gave up the kid, I understand that the pain of losing the child to someone else so quickly could be as devastating as we saw in Scream. But to me, it feels like instant postpartum. Like I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that. I don't know how quickly postpartum introduces itself, but maybe it's just a combination of all the things. The way she just broke down so quickly after that, you could see the defeat on her face. Like her whole reason for living is both right in front of her and taken away at the same time.
I do have kids, and I still can't speak to that because I didn't go through the hormonal and body changes and all the different things that happen when you actually give birth to a child and then have to deal with that separation.
The ladies in the comments, I'm sure, will be able to help us out.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Please let us know.
That is not where we're going to be experts at all, ever. But the thing I thought was interesting was the parallel, because during the episode, we get flashbacks of Hannah being born, and we got to see the reality of the fact that, like, there was maybe 10, 12 different little bassinets in that nursery.
All empty.
All empty. One baby healthy, 3 babies alive, all others dead. Just a reality of like where society had, like where this idea had come from, that maybe they needed to recreate this world, right? Because to me, when we first walk in,
well, birth rates are down.
Right. If that doesn't happen, then Gilead doesn't make as much sense. But I appreciate that they're sharing that with us, because it's showing us that there was a drastic decline in something that really mattered. And when you can put a drastic decline in something that really matters, you can get people into a fearful state. And when you get masses into a fearful state, you can make them choose some pretty crazy things. We've seen it all throughout history.
Anything with emotion.
Yeah. So that makes more sense to me. And I appreciate that we're getting these glimpses back, not only because we get to see that June also knows what it feels like to have her baby taken away.
I was going to bring that up because rewatching this, I had completely forgotten about that scene of her getting her kid almost, well, it still stole it, but just didn't get very far.
Right. Yeah, she got her back, but yeah, definitely stolen.
But she had that happen before she ever had her daughter ripped away again. And I had completely forgotten about that. Yeah. So that makes so much more sense of the absolute trauma and obsession that she has, which I felt was a little bit more than someone would have just losing a kid. Like, I get that we've all seen shows like a whole bunch of times where kids just kidnap, someone goes to no ends in sight, right? There's no lengths they wouldn't go. Sorry, that's better phrasing. And in this, I just had completely forgotten that she had the kid stolen and how much more that would cause someone to drive to get their kid back more than that average situation.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely a driving force. For sure.
Luke, still a dweeb?
I don't know. He stepped up in this episode. I mean, he didn't hesitate for a second to go in there and grab her and get his kid back. At first, though, I was like, he's going to make her drop that kid, and this is not going to be good. But then the cops all rushed, and there was enough hands there to do so. I was like, okay, this is better. I thought Hannah was about to get dropped. But if anything, he is a dweeb. I'll give you that, because I know where he ends up, and then eventually, way down the line, he steps up for himself.
Becomes badass.
But yeah, I'll give him credit. He did not hesitate to get in there and try to save his daughter.
Now you want to go back to Scrabble.
Yeah, something we need to touch on with this particular episode is Scrabble. Where was the mystery through the whole first part of the episode that the commander wants a secret meeting? We get, Nick has to secretly deliver that to her, because we find out that it's like very taboo for a commander and a handmaid to be alone together. It's very taboo for any female to be in a commander's office, including his own wife. And so a lot of the things that she's about to take part on and not unknowingly walk into is like, could get her some real heat. And so she's curious that, is this going to be my death, right? That's what she's thinking. Am I going to die? Do they know? Offred kind of jokes about like, oh, he probably just wants a blowjob or whatever. But at the same time, she's fearing for her life. And then ultimately, he just wants to play a game with her. So yeah, let's unpack that. Why Scrabble? Why a game? And why the handmaid and not Nick or someone else?
So for me, the women are not allowed to read or write.
Right. Yep.
Not at all. Fred asked her to look at him, and he's like, go ahead, look at me. It's okay. You're allowed to look at me. She's like, no, I can't. It's like against the rules. And he's like, we can bend the rules here.
Yeah.
You'll find we can do a lot of rule bending here. To me, it feels just grooming.
Okay.
But maybe that's because I've already seen this. So
yeah. Can you elaborate? Like, what would he be grooming her for without giving anything away, of course? Like, what would be something he would want to make sure she's compliant for?
Well, she's already compliant, but I feel like he is... I'm trying to word this without ruining shit.
All right, then if it's going to give it away, then don't give it away. I'll watch and I'll learn, because I'm interested to know, it makes sense that if he's using this as a way of holding something over her head or leverage, it's like now he has something, but he can get in just as much trouble as she could.
I think it's just his ego.
Okay.
I think that's the safest way I could explain it without explaining it, is it's just strictly for his ego.
Yeah.
But the whole Scrabble thing, when she saw what game he pulled out, she got so excited because, as you learned, she was an assistant editor, right? So obviously good with words.
Yeah.
And so this would definitely be her game to shine in. And as we found out, the scores were so close. It was like 183 and 186 or something.
Yeah, close
right?
to that, yeah.
It was just very small, a fraction off, which intrigues him because he's able to have the type of conversation and mental challenge that he's not getting from his wife right now because he took that power away from his wife.
I was going to say, because his wife is very intelligent.
She is.
She wrote her own book.
She's absolutely brilliant.
Right? But Serena is an author.
She is the brains behind his whole campaign. She is literally the powerful woman behind the king type thing.
Yeah.
But she just doesn't get that spotlight because women are less than in this universe.
Yeah. In Gilead.
Yes.
So,
Thank you for clarifying.
well, because they're still allowed
Yeah.
in Hawaii. The United States.
Well, there's all the other countries also that had their stuff, but still, when I was referring to, yeah, you cleared it up.
Okay. So I'm interested to see where this goes now, because I'm sure they said they'll meet again when he comes back from DC.
And she pried a little bit of information from him.
Right. So she was starting to grab information for the original Offred, who is now somewhere.
Emily.
And we'll see where this goes, because this is interesting to me, because I thought this episode was going to be very different than what it was. I thought this episode was going to be a lot of Serena just having her way with June, right? Getting vengeance, basically, for the snide looks and the little things that she feels that are, digs on her from June. Even in this episode, she's caught June staring at her during the thing with Naomi on the floor. And I noticed that she tagged that, right? So I'm waiting for this.
She was smiling, laughing at them, role playing.
Yeah. And I think, there's going to come a time where Serena unloads all that anger onto her.
I
thought it was going to be this episode.
I feel like Serena is still learning what she can get away with at this point.
Okay.
Because they're still so new into this brand new society.
Oh, really? How long has Gilead been in existence at this point?
Well, you gotta imagine June's escape. That was when they were completely shutting everything down, realizing that the country was over.
So this season begins with them starting Gilead, correct?
That's my take on it.
So then, I get that. We're on the same page there. My thing is, how long of a time period do we have between getting round up and getting put into the Red Center to now where we currently are?
I'm not 100% sure.
Let us know in the comments.
Because the country is still not fully taken over yet.
They said they were still warring in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, in this episode. Yes.
So, yeah, lots more to unpack.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Definitely enjoying where we're going so far, getting to a lot more insight on the things that I didn't have in season 6, which is great. And again, some of the best parts of this is just the little subtle things that June says to herself or does. I think the actress is phenomenal at just having these little moments that really, excel the series.
You see why everyone kept saying her inner monologue from season 1?
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of it. Let's roll with it. So we're going to be dropping 2 episodes of Handmaid's Tale a week. We'll be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we also have Murderbot going out on Fridays. And so if you're interested in catching them all, then make sure you're definitely subscribed and hitting those like buttons so that we can keep dropping tons of content for you guys. And the comment section is where you can chime in and let us know what you think, your opinions. If you've read the book, watch the shows. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here, we love to hear from you. Without anything else, my name is Chris.
Liam.
And we'll see you guys on one of these videos right here next to these beautiful wine bottles, or the one above my head. But either way, we'll see you guys there. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.